My dad died of an overdose in 2011. So he got to see me get my shit together and have children. One of the last conversations that he ever had with me, and it was an amazing conversation. He called me and told me how proud he was of me as a human being, and what I had blossomed into, and this really touching, like, prolific conversation almost. And he died on April 1st. My mother is right up the street in the detention center, and she's charged with manslaughter because she was shooting dope with her friend, and her friend died. And that's the game. That's the game. And, like, again, like, I raised my children in this entirely different world where it's like it seems like they're just completely sheltered, and they are from a life like that. But where I come from, that's not even that crazy, man. I went to the penitentiary. I turned 20 years old. I turned 19 years old in the county jail, 20 years old in the penitentiary, 21 years old in the penitentiary. That's not normal. But when you're addicted to drugs, that's what happens, I came home from the penitentiary and went right back to a life of drugs. I lived underneath of the Liberty Street overpass because it was close to the neighborhood where all the drugs were. I had a friend who dragged me kicking and screaming because she believed in me and believed that I could get it right. And that took a couple times. And one time I sat through that intake. And at the end of the day, I got medicated and I went home. And the craziest thing happened, because when I went home, I didn't have to go look for drugs. And then the next day, I woke up and I went back to that place in the morning. And then another crazy thing happened, because it was another day where I had an entire day ahead of me, but no drugs to chase. That steamrolls into 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days where I haven't been sober 10 days since I was just a young child. So I'm like, whoa, something's really happening here. 2 or 3 weeks in, I have I'm literally changing. I can feel it in front of my own eyes, in front of people. I'm changing. In 6 months, I went from living underneath an overpass in the worst neighborhood in Cincinnati to being a floor manager at a furniture store. But I'm still humble and grounded because I know it's not that far away. But those days, they keep turning into weeks and turning into months. And this isn't something where you're waking up every day and it's this miserable thing of like, oh, I gotta stay sober today. Listen, man, you hit this threshold of where being sober is the new high. It's incredible. It's incredible. You rediscover everything about your entire life, your personality, what you enjoy in the world, there's all these things that you put the black shades on, you put the damper on when you're a drug addict. 6 months, I have a manager's position at a job. I have an ID with my name on it that's not from the penitentiary. A year, I'm paying off fines. I have a driver's license. A year and a half, I have my own vehicle. I have my own vehicle. I have a wife. That friend that dragged me kicking and screaming, she's my wife. I've been with her for we've been married for 17 years now. But like, I have a child on the way. So your days just start to become your inspiration, and it doesn't, it's a beautiful snowball thing, because thinking you can't get through a day without dope, imagine how you feel when you did it for a week or 2 weeks. You're like, wow, this is, and the universe rewards you for that kind of thing. You get pieces of yourself back that you buried,